We
Hey, listen. So let's do it the right way. Word from our sponsors.
Follow 3 to Podway on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Chumps.
Sounds so beautiful, don't you agree?
Yeah.
We love the babies.
Yeah, so
FDK. Not dumb kids specifically, but just kids in general.
In a more serious note, before we get started, today, unfortunately, marks the passing of, I guess you would have to consider him a cultural icon.
A legend, for
You'd
sure.
have to, right? A legend, a living legend at the time, right?
Right.
Unfortunately, today marks the passing of DMX, aka Darkman X, aka Earl Simmons. So we just wanted to just kind of honor that, I guess, with a 10-second moment of silence.
Yeah, so we give him a
All right. So naturally when these things happen, right? I think inherently the first thing you think about is all the things that remind you of that person.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. And so like we obviously have shown that we're very into like rap, right? The origins, etc. Right. So what was your first interaction, if you can recall, what was your first interaction with X?
With DMX?
Yeah.
My mom's crib, Newkirk Street in Philly, the back room. That was my room at the time. Doom, 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 doom. It was like 1 2 1 2 come through something. You don't know what the gun do.
Right.
Yeah, that line. I think I had just finished listening to Big Pun too after that, or around that same time. I think they came out that same summer or something like that. If I'm not mistaken. But Packing the Mac in the back of the act, and that DMX intro was crazy.
Yeah, I remember like
he was the intro before the Meek intro.
Man, I'll tell you, yeah, absolutely, right? So I remember you heard about X before you saw him.
Oh, yeah.
And this was obviously before social media was like really, really taking over, and like the rollout was like a thing, right?
Oh, right.
And I remember there was always this building up, like X is the guy. And you heard the stories, right? Because this was back when like the Source magazine, like you heard about or read about the album like 6 months before it came out, and you started seeing the advertisements build up.
Yeah, that rollout thing is dead now.
Yeah, sure. Just about, right? Like Beyonce killed the rollout.
Yeah, she definitely did. Now everybody think they Beyonce.
Right,
like you can't do what she did, bruh.
So I remember the first time I saw the black and white video.
Not They Don't Know.
No, man. Why am I catching a blank now? His first video on MTV, the black and white video.
I might have been too young, bro.
Get at Me, dog.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In the tunnel, right?
Yeah.
And that kind of marked the introduction of DMX to like the world, right?
Okay. Word, respect.
And from that point on, for the next easily 2 to 3 years,
yeah, he went on a run.
He dominated.
I think he had 2 #1 albums in the same
year.
Yeah,
right?
That's hard.
He was the first rapper that I can recall that dropped 2 #1 albums in the same year.
Who else did that? I know Plies. Didn't Plies do that too?
Stop.
No.
Stop.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, man, I mean, and he was part of that Def Jam movement, that machine, with the Rough Riders, Murder Inc., Rockefeller.
That Rough Riders run was hard.
Yeah, he was the face of Rough Riders, right? So again, I guess we could definitely go down memory lane, but does anybody have any moments that just stand out in particular outside of that?
I mean, like I said, the first time, I think that's the first time I remember hearing him, and just very, very high level. I mean, the Damien series, those joints used to be, that was the vibe. So that's it, man.
Man, I'll tell you, for me personally, what I guess kind of drew me to him as a fan was that he was probably the first rapper that I felt was like who he said he was outside of pop, right? because I mean, he showed the dichotomy of a human. Like he was very much like the aggressor. Like he talked about robbing people, but this is the same guy when he talked about God and he did his prayers.
Oh yeah,
he felt them on that too.
While robbing
and
you,
the true dichotomy of people.
Yeah, that's
right.
true.
You can be two things at the same time, and he made you feel that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what kind of drew me to him. I think as a fan.
his storytelling through his raps. I think for
Yeah,
me,
epic. Yeah.
So,
Cause like, man, how's it going down? That brings me to how's it going down. Yeah. You heard the song, right? But then when he put the video with it, you already kind of knew the story. Yeah, based on how he told it, and like, that was a perfect video. Yeah, for sure.
Yo, he probably got the most names in any songs, and like throughout his songs.
You gotta give him that.
Y'all thought Drake was giving the spilling the juice.
That's true.
Like,
that's true.
It was Brenda, Letitia, Kanisha, Juanita. Like, about
Juanez and Alicia.
3 Kims. Yikes! Slow
Latoya
down.
and Tina.
Right.
But this is also what you should do in moments like this. You know, you should smile. You should remember the good times and celebrate the life. So again, one time for DMX.
Yes, sir. Give it up for him.
Now,
Uh-oh.
University of North Carolina.
Awkward transition. This is an awkward transition.
Well, how do you get out of that?
No, it's cool.
It's not even his fault. You can't even dance out of that.
So University of North Carolina, right?
Tar Heels.
Right, Tar Heels. Storied,
I still need them,
storied University.
Them Jordan ones. I still need them ones.
I'll plug you with the connect.
You know the sound effect I need already queued up for this conversation alone. Just like
So University of North Carolina, storied academic institution, right? Now probably known more for Michael Jordan, University of North Carolina basketball team,
athletic,
and just the color, right? Because
it's Carolina blue is real.
Yeah, it's Carolina blue. Like
that's hard.
It used to be baby blue, before
it was popping. Yeah, no. Now it's North Carolina blue.
It's North Carolina blue.
It's clearly
so. Roy Williams,
crazy kick game, by the way,
retired. Right. And so now the university has to find who they're going to replace him with. And people are throwing out, any number of names, right? Former North Carolina players, other coaches at other universities. But considering the movement and the time we're in, it made sense to go with potentially an African American, right? So now the list got shorter. Jerry Stackhouse, Hubert Davis.
She Wallace wasn't on that list?
Nah, he wasn't. He didn't make the cut.
Man, shout out to She, man. Philly, man.
So they decided to go with Hubert Davis, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Hubert Davis played in the NBA. He's a former North Carolina player. He was an assistant under Roy Williams for X amount of time.
What's you think he got a nickname, or he'd be like, no, my name's Hubert?
I'm not sure.
Okay. You know what I mean? You know those kind of guys?
But now Mr. Davis is at a press conference and he's in front
Coach
of
Davis.
Coach Davis.
Coach Hubie.
Hube is in front of the cameras now.
I hate it here.
And this isn't funny, but it's funny.
It's very funny.
No, it's hilarious.
So as he's describing the fact that he's
the importance of his moment,
the importance of being an African American at this
first at that
university, he's running down the stats, right? I believe he said 26% of coaches in Division I basketball are African Americans. And in that moment, you swell with pride. You're like, man, this is a moment.
That is beautiful.
Right? And you're looking at your room, you're looking at your friends, and you like, that's us.
One out of you 4 could be a coach at a
We can.
College.
We can.
Maybe.
And then he hits you with, what did he say, Nacy?
And there's always a but.
Yeah, what did he say?
I'm proud of being a strong black man. I'm proud of being the first.
Yeah.
I'm proud of my family and our accomplishments, and the list goes on.
Yeah, beautiful list.
And I'm also proud to have a white wife.
I love it.
And it's like you can't
What's
be
wrong with that?
upset because
that's amazing. That's beautiful.
Shout out to that queen. Okay, shout out to that. Shout out to that.
Because we can all agree that inherently we can all agree inherently there's nothing wrong with what he said.
Nothing.
It's just
The timing.
it was the timing, and it was unprovoked.
Yeah.
Like no one, nothing about the question asked.
We weren't talking about that, bro.
Right. Okay. So this is my perception.
He was
So I seen
he
it.
was prepped.
I saw it live and then rewatched it after.
Okay.
So when I'm rewatching, I'm looking and I'm like, it looks like this was scripted. Like it almost looks like he's waiting to say the but.
Right.
Like he's giving me
okay.
stats saying, okay, I'm going to say 2 more and then I'm going to say shout out to my queen. You know, and
But it
for
came
him
out
to say
wrong.
specifically, not like I'm so happy to be, you know, to have a wife
strong
behind me to
wife,
support
right,
me.
exactly.
Like, no, I'm happy
Right.
to have a white wife.
So let's ask this. So let's play devil's advocate.
Yeah, what if he would say my beautiful black queen?
Then he would have said, I'm happy to be supported. My family is here. Shout out to my black queen. And it would have been rolling and it wouldn't have been no issue. But he said, he stopped and said, hey, shout out to all the black people, but I got a white wife.
Proud.
Like, it was just like, what?
I mean,
So-
that's a status symbol. He's on now. That means he got on.
Yikes.
Kanye told y'all that.
So what?
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Oh, now y'all listen to Kanye?
So what I was gonna ask is, do you feel like he felt the need to say that to be accepted by that conglomerate as a whole?
For that community, for him to not get his house burned down that weekend. You know, I mean, you have to realize where he is. Let's be honest. You know, there is likely a lot of pockets of segregation still taking place in the area. Maybe to keep the white cloaks back. I mean, I don't know.
You making North Carolina sound like 1950, bro.
I'm sure there's pockets just like there is here in Maryland, but it was very deliberate.
Yeah, it sounded like
I agree.
It was not organic.
It almost sounds like someone said, "Hey, they're going to ask about your wife," and he beat them to it, and that's the impression I got. Like, oh, here's the answer, but no one asked. Like, you know, it wasn't. They didn't bring the question up. No one asked them. So
Let me. So. All right, we're just gonna move on from that. That is what it is.
Are you not proud?
So let me ask you this. You're a realtor, right?
I am indeed.
You're a realtor. Go ahead and give the people who you
So
are.
what if she don't want to share that?
I didn't know that's what we did here, but
give them that.
hi, my name is Nacy Grigsby, Maryland State Realtor. You can follow me on Instagram at Your Realtor Nacy. Slide into my DMs. I'm always available.
Do you have your MLS number?
I don't know it off the top of my head.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool,
no,
cool.
it's not memorized.
Listen, so let me ask you this.
Licensed and bonded.
So part of being a realtor, right, is or buying a home is home inspections.
Indeed.
Right. So what goes into a home inspection typically?
I didn't know this is where we were going, but
This is about to be the most amazing setup I've ever witnessed. Y'all pay
That was
attention
big.
because this is good. I
that
can
was
see it
good.
coming.
That was good.
Keep going. No, answer his questions, please.
So what goes on into a home inspection?
Yeah.
So you have a home inspection is conducted after your home goes under contract. So meaning you have extended an offer on a property, your offer is accepted, you are currently under contract. The very next immediate step, which usually happens within the next 2 to 4 business days, is a home inspection. A home inspector comes into your home, they walk your property.
Now, do you have to be there?
You should, right?
So usually the buyer is present with the home inspector. The sellers, they can be there, but it's awkward. And so
Okay.
most agents will say, no, go ahead and leave the property for 2 hours, go out, have a lunch with the family, whatever. And the buyer and the buyer's agent accompany the home inspector on the property.
Now, what's interesting about what you just said is that I didn't hear you say Elmo.
No, not at all.
What?
Right.
No, not at all.
Why? I didn't hear you mention. So you didn't mention Elmo.
I did not mention
So
Elmo.
Elmo is not a part of a home inspection.
Not at all.
All
No.
right.
No, not at all.
What?
So in Michigan, and you can't make this stuff up. Kevin Wayne Van Loven,
Mr. Lovin.
Van Loven.
Okay, Mr. Van Loven.
That's
Not Mick Love, not to be mistaken.
not
with
to be
Mick Love.
mistaken with Mick Loven.
The legend.
59 years old. He's a home inspector in Michigan. And as he's inspecting this home, he notices that there's a Tickle Me Elmo doll in the corner. And something about this doll, what? I don't even know how to say this.
Causes him to
Stimulated Mr. Van Leeuwen. And Mr. Van Leeuwen decided to...
I hate it. I gotta go.
He decided to consummate the I don't know how to say it. Is that the right word? Yes. Yeah. Okay, that's the right word. Consummate the inspection.
Is that
with Elmo?
He inspected the Elmo?
Yeah, or Elmo inspected him.
Yikes.
And so the homeowners have a nanny cam that caught this.
Wait, I was gonna say, so back up.
Yeah,
you gotta tell the people that haven't looked at this story. We might just drop the link to just for you guys to know. So this gentleman is inspecting the home and has gone into the baby's room,
right?
And picks up the Tickle Me Elmo doll while in the child's bedroom.
Yeah.
Please proceed.
Right. So, well, I mean, I don't know if there's much to say after that.
So he consummated
the home inspection. Now, let's be clear. No one was there but him. There was nobody else in the house but him. Right. And so on the nanny cam, they witnessed this act. And when you watch the video, you see his...
Oh, there's video.
Yeah, so you see him in the closet and...
He laying it down. He getting busy.
He's inspecting. And yeah, it's super awkward. And then to hear the Oakland County Sheriff describe the act.
He was disgusted.
He was disgusted. He was utterly disgusted and couldn't get his words together or anything like that.
That's crazy. So is he a redhead?
This is too much going on.
So Mr. Van Leeuwen was charged with aggravated indecent exposure and malicious destruction of property.
Oh, I bet.
Now
I bet.
Now the question is, I'm not gonna do that.
Don't do that because I know where you're going with that. Yes, it gets replaced. So fun fact: what did we learn here?
Nothing.
Outside of the fact that we learned that Dirty Diana is your realtor, Nacy, on Instagram.
Yeah.
We also learned that during a home inspection, someone needs to be present outside of just the home inspector.
Right.
It is usually the buyer's agent and or the buyer.
Can you dispute that on your credit card, like the charge? I'm just saying, because clearly you're going to need your money back, right?
Yeah, the home clearly wasn't inspected.
Yeah.
The home clearly wasn't inspected.
And do you think, did he write a report up afterwards?
Oh, yeah, of course he did.
Okay.
Because it wasn't until the video was reviewed and released. So, yeah.
All right. So with that being said, let's get into these comments.